Alright, next up we've got 30, 60 triangles. Triangle with a 30-degree angle and a 60-degree angle. And so we're still trying to solve for the other missing sides. So let's take a look at see what we've got here, and then let's see which relationship we need to use. So in this right triangle here, I know the shorter side. I know it's 4. The side across from the 30-degree angle is 4. So let me look up here at my reference here. So I'm going to go with this relationship since I know the shorter side, the one across from that 30-degree angle. If I knew the hypotenuse, I would go with this version. So since I know the shorter side, I'm going to take that side length and multiply it by 2 to get the hypotenuse. And then I'm going to multiply it by square root of 3 to get that other leg. So let's do exactly that. So let's start with, doesn't really matter which one we start with. I'll start with the hypotenuse since it's pretty easy to calculate. We just have to take this length and multiply it by 2. So I'm going to do 2 times 4, and that's going to give me the length of that hypotenuse. So C equals 8. So to get B, I'm not going to be multiplying it by 2. I'm going to be multiplying it by square root of 3. That's how we get the other leg. So let's do that. So I'm going to do 4 times square root of 3. Not really much we can do with that. It's just 4 square root of 3. So that's the other leg. So we've got all 3 sides known at this point, so we are done with that one. Let's move on to the next one. So in this one, we don't know either of the legs. What we start off knowing in this example is the length of the hypotenuse. So if I know the hypotenuse, I need to use the other version of the relationship for the 30-60 triangle. So remember, this relationship here is written in terms of the hypotenuse. So this is the one we're going to use when we know the hypotenuse, because these other 2 legs are calculated in terms of the hypotenuse. So we know the hypotenuse, so to find the shorter leg, for instance, we're going to multiply it by a half. Take the hypotenuse number, multiply it by half. Same thing for that other side. We're going to multiply it by square root of 3 over 2 to get that length. So let's start with the shorter side. So shorter side I have labeled A. Shorter side is the one across from the 30-degree angle. So I'm going to multiply the hypotenuse by 1/2. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 22. So that gives me 11 for A. So that is the shorter side. It's 11. So we're almost done with this one. We've just got one more side to figure out. So to find the other leg of this triangle, we take the hypotenuse and we multiply it by square root of 3 over 2. So square root of 3 over 2 times the hypotenuse. So in this case, 22. So square root of 3 over 22 comes out to 11 square root of 3. What I did there was simplify the 22 over 2. And you can feel free to verify that in your calculator if you don't believe me. So for this triangle, we figured out the other 2 sides. A is 11, B is 11 square root of 3. So we are done with this one.